my gosh, y'all, it's over. It's over. It's over for season 3, and I don't know how to feel about it. There's so many things to discuss that happened in the season 3 finale of The Gilded Age. I don't know where to start, but maybe we can start with the fact that Bad-Eyed Bertha ends the season in tears. A win is a win. Let's get into it. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, apply that. Love upon it, give along, need it. My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, as y'all heard, and I'm here to put you on. Back to talk The Gilded Age Season 3 finale. My mind is made up, and so is mine. Y'all, they had a couple of jobs, right? The first was to make sure the beard that connects on both sides would be up and walking by the end of the season, and they did that. Number 2, to make sure that Peggy Scott was secure, okay? Did that. 3, to fulfill Lady Marian's dreams of being held perpetually in limbo. Accomplished. And Bertha in tears. Like, again, a win is a win is a win. But you guys, I just, before we get into it, want to thank you guys for rocking with me this whole season. There's so many new faces that are here because of The Gilded Age. And I just want to say thank you for coming through to the uploads, my individual reviews, and then also coming to our Monday night discussions. It's so appreciated. You guys have made this a joy to cover because I absolutely loved this season. But y'all, let's get immediately into it. We start out where we left off, okay, which was the walk-by shooting that had the beard that connects on both sides down bad. Of course, they rush him across the street to his home, and I'm really assuming because back in those days, most of the doctors made house calls. The house was the closest, most secure and clean place to take him to in the moment, and fortunately, Dr. Kirkland was across the street because he was ready to have that conversation with Peggy. Unbeknownst to him, he's coming over, and imagine this, he's a colored doctor. The one thing Bertha gets right is the fact that she says, what does that matter to me? Can he heal my husband? Can he save my husband? That's what matters. And I'll give her that. As far as Bertha with the staff, with other cultures, that's never been her thing. It's all been about class and social climbing with her. She doesn't really take any of that personally. He comes over, does his whip-de-doo as a Howard alum, okay, and gets the job done. And everyone is so appreciative. And again, immediately, because I know Julian Fellows, I said, okay, is he going to have some deep infection that comes back after the fact? For those who wanted blatant racism here, you got it. You finally got it, since you guys didn't see season 2. But over here, of course, we see Dr. Kirkland save the day, and then their family doctor finally make it there the next morning just to question, who is this man and what did you do? And then to begrudgingly give him his flowers because honestly, he did save your life, right? Meanwhile, across the street, oh, and let me not forget this, Marian might have found her true calling, y'all. Marian may have found her true calling because she's Johnny on the spot. She brings the medical bag over, hops on the table. She is stopping the blood, applying pressure. I said, Marian, this is the Marian that we've been needing the entire time. We've been needing this. So it's the next morning. And of course, Peggy is like, you know, he went over there. Mr. Russell was shot, you know, but of course now we have to use discretion because we don't want this to get out because ultimately they need to put their own investigators on the case to see who did this. Was it Clay? Was it the cockroach? Or was it someone else? Now that's the one thing we don't really get answers to in the finale. But that's fine because you guys did enough on the backside. I just needed to make sure that beard was still alive by the end of the episode. Larry tells Marian, you know, at this moment, girl, my father's been shot. I can't do this with you right now. And really wants to know why you didn't believe me, you know, but now all of a sudden it's cool because we're in a terrible situation. Now you want to come through. Marian, I'm not trying to hear you right now. And I was with Larry for that because damn, you didn't even give me the benefit of the doubt, not even as a friend to have a conversation with me before you were willing to end it all. Now, the thing with Marian is that she does have baggage. She does have trauma. trauma. Like she said in the last episode, every man in my life has betrayed me. I trust no man. Right? And so I get that, but you can't make him the brunt of that. And if you feel like you're not ready to move past that, then you just don't need to be with anyone. You need to do what you said to Ada in the last episode and just be a spinster girl if that's what you really want. But Larry's not having it. Again, these are tumultuous times. Ada and Marian have a conversation and she's like, Jack told me he did nothing wrong. And now Larry's not trying to talk to me because he said, if this is a situation you didn't believe me, what's to say this won't happen again in the future? And Ada said, well, he is right about that. And he is, because what are you going to do? The beard that connects is sitting up already, y'all. We're not 10, 15 minutes into the episode and he's sitting up. And of course, he doesn't want anyone in the public to know what happened. But the doc says that him living is absolutely a miracle. And it is, because everybody was on delayed response. Larry didn't get there till the morning. Dr. Logan didn't get there until the morning. I was like, he would have been dead on a slab except for Dr. Kirkland coming through to save the day. Of course, Bertha's like, I should cancel the ball in Newport. I want to be with you. I want to take care of you. And he's like, no, this is important. You're the mother of a duchess, And I said, why is he caping for her? It was very weird. It was very much reunited and it feels so good. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I didn't like that. Peggy and Mama Scott are talking and Peggy's like, well, he did come over late last night and, did he talk to Papa? Did he talk to Daddy Scott? And Mama Scott is like, oh my gosh, that could only mean one thing. And so right now in this moment, she thinks that he's going to propose because what else could there be? That's all they can both think about. And she's giddy and excited and all the things. And she said, well, I'll find out momentarily because he's on his way right now. He'll be here in the house. We get there, jump right into the conversation. So it is true. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I said, why did y'all leave that on the cutting room floor? I would have liked to see the entire conversation from start to finish, because when we get to it, it's pretty much her acknowledgement, her tears, that this was just the worst time in her life, everything that happened. And he basically saying, this really gave my mother the ammunition that she wanted and that she needed. This seemed like insurmountable odds. I'm not going to say anything yet, but I need to take a walk. Like, I need to process this. And immediately we see Peggy break down. Y'all, this was so heartbreaking. And shout out to Danae for really putting on in this moment and doing her big one, because I felt you, Peggy. I felt you in this moment. It was basically this idea of, will I be good enough for anybody, right? Is the ideal, and now it's over. Mama Scott comes in to console her, and Audra, act down, sis. Act down. Act down, auntie. Do it. Because you did that. And, you are worthy. You are enough. You are worthy enough for a love that can carry you through the most harrowing time in your life. You're worth that, daughter. You're beautiful. You're just the pour out of love and affirmations. And it was a very quick scene, y'all, but it was so beautiful, so necessary, and so needed. Loved everything about it. But it was the goodbye, Miss Scott. It did feel final in that moment. So I probably would have been with Peggy. Ultimately, we find out that we're still going to go to Newport. We're still going to go to the ball. We were invited, even though we were invited by him. Mr. Scott has made a donation. Okay, so we're still going to Black Cotillion. Okay, and we're going to have an amazing time at it. And Peggy's really got to pull up her countenance, because at this point, she's utterly and completely heartbreaking. And my sentiment was, while watching, how much heartbreak can one person take? We already know she fell in love with the man at the store. The daddy suckered him into filling out the paper that would annul the marriage. She's in childbirth. They tell her the baby dies. He absconds with the child and adopts it out. And then the baby dies of the fever. Peggy has been down through there. And like she said to Dr. Kirkland, I was going to tell you, but my thing is, Peggy, win. The moment was in the park in the day. She said, I was trying to screw my courage to the sticking place. And I get you, sis, but we can't, because his mama is a menace to society. And come to find out, she done spread it all over Newport. All around the Newport Blacks, they know. They know. She's a busybody. She's a gossip. She couldn't be more elated that this was Peggy's past. No care, no concern, no empathy. That's a special kind of evil, in my opinion. Agnes and Ada, Marian can't marry into that family, right? Marian decides that because of how Larry responded and everything that's going on, she's no longer going to the ball in Newport. She can't handle it. She can't deal with it. And Agnes is like finally someone who gets it. Because Lord, no, you can't marry into that family. Oh God, that family, that new money family. Agnes is still on her kick. And she and Ada kind of have this conversation about everything that's happened. And Ada's like, well, you married into the right family. And how'd that work with Arnold? And Agnes is like, you know what? I really don't even, I don't even remember. Well, is that what you want for Marian? And so finally, we kind of see Agnes change. And we ultimately have a conversation where she's like, Marian, just go. Just give Larry another chance. You must see about him. You must do the thing. Admit you were wrong. Oscar chimes in, Mother, have you ever admitted when you were wrong? Agnes says, no, because I'm never wrong. Agnes is never wrong. I said, Ada's finally coming through with the wisdom. It was beautiful. Also in this episode, we actually finally see the passing of the baton, right? We see Agnes relinquishing control over the house fully to Ada and says, here, sis, you got it. We find out that Miss Foster was a dog with a bone, but not for the money, but because she wanted Agnes to be vice president. They wanted the Van Ryn name to be there, I guess, to promote the Livingston land and all of the things. But again, it seems like we're entering a new era for Agnes and Ada both, and I love that for them. Oscar and Miss Fish are having a conversation, and we get into the conversation of Miss Turner, now the widow. Okay. And immediately I'm thinking lavender marriage, lavender marriage, lavender marriage. Her elderly husband has passed, leaving her a bag. And Oscar's out here with some property and a name. So what better option than for us to get married, Turner? You can do your big one. We have our past where we were feeding each other intel. But now you've got the money. I've got the name. Together, we could be a force. I have my country home. You have yours. When we come to the city, we're a married couple. But outside of that, we're doing our biggest one. Oscar is just a mess, but now he's got to get Turner into the room, right? As far as the ball. And so he bargains with Bertha because again, it was always leading up to him being really significant, a partner in crime to Bertha during, her climb. And I think the maintenance of it all. And so he basically says, I can get Marian to come to the ball if you can invite Turner. Just do that solid for me and we'll make it, because now all of a sudden miraculously Bertha's okay with Marian. After she saw Marian in action, now it's fine that you marry my son. They really tried it with this redemption arc with Bertha between inviting the divorcees to Newport ball to now all of a sudden I love Marian. Girl, go directly to the hot place. There's nothing you can do that could ever make me like her. And I know the people are like, well, he did it too. He did it too. And he got shot. All right. I feel like those are his just desserts. He got shot and you got left. It's fine. It's fine. To me, it balances out. It all works out. Y'all have shipped Jack and Bridget so bad that now he done invited Bridget over to the house. She done brought him some lamb mutton stew. And he says, you're not a servant here. You're a guest. Sit across the table from me. A whole new world. Don't show her a new world. I need Jack to go out here, sling a little bit of dingling, live his best life for a moment before settling down. And I mean, I'm not mad. She's not the one across the street that told him he was above his station, but he had been playing and trying for her for a while and she wasn't giving him any play. Sir, have your bag. And I know she brings comfort and seems familiar, but I want Jack to branch out and live a little, So now it's time for everybody to arrive in Newport. Marian and the Van Ryn house has decided to go as a family, so she is going to now go to the ball. Peggy is there reluctantly crying. Miss Scott says, listen, I need to go get fitted for a dress. And while she's getting fitted, who walks in but Mama Kirkland? Like, oh, fancy seeing you here. I thought Peggy would have the good sense to stay her behind back in Brooklyn, because what are you doing here, sister? What are you doing? Aren't you ashamed? Scott says she don't have nothing to be ashamed about. And if your son can't see that, then he wasn't the man for her anyway. What you'll never do is come in here and talk about my daughter when I tell you she read her down boots. Because who do you think you are? Paraphrasing. To come in here and tell me anything about my child. Worry about yourself. Walking around here with impunity, thinking you can judge everybody when nobody is exempt. Don't get it twisted, sister. You're black. You're black. You're black. If you get that reference, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. But baby gave it to her. And we needed this. We've been looking for this all season. Thank you, Mama Scott, for reading down Mama Kirkland, because she needed that. It was a long time coming. But that wasn't the only read down that Mama Kirkland was going to get this episode, because later in the episode, Dr. Kirkland arrives in Newport, and he's not going to the ball. He's heartbroken, devastated, and he and Papa Kirkland are standing there, and Papa Kirkland, the preacher, says, son, follow your heart, son. Follow your heart. You love that girl. And Mama Kirkland, no, he don't have to. He don't have to go over there with her, but he has to go because there's other women there. Lady, shut up and sit down and shut up. Now, this husband, Papa Kirkland, unloaded some things he's been holding in for 100 years. He's been holding in for 100 years. He let her have. He said, you're a gossip. You're contrarian. You can't see the forest for the trees. You not a spring chicken, honey, and not pure as the driven snow, quiet as it's kept. I said, ooh, what's Mama Kirkland's tea? Is what I want to know. Because it looked like he wanted to say something. Go wait for me in the carriage while I talk to my son. Son, I don't give a damn what your mama say. Follow your heart, son. Follow your heart. And so we're there at the ball finally, and we're doing these splitaways between the whites and the blacks at both of the different balls. And of course, Oscar makes his proposition to Miss Turner, and listen, it's a done deal. It's a dunners in my book. Marian and Larry finally have a conversation, and while they're not fully moving forward, they say they're in a place, you know, just to be friends again and examine it slowly. And that's exactly where Marian wants it, because quiet as it kept, she don't want to marry that man. She just don't. She likes being with someone, I think, but I don't think she wants the trappings of it all. Does that make sense? That's how I feel about it. On the black side, Peggy is out there and she gets asked to dance, honey. And I say, you better have options, sister. And she looked amazing. And of course, the Scotts are there. And there are people giving shade and side eye because, of course, we know Mama Kirkland has told the world about Peggy's past, but not in full context. And so she's dancing with this young man. And while she's dancing, Dr. Kirkland enters. And Mama Kirkland's so excited until she sees what his mission is. And that's Peggy. He goes over to Papa Scott and says, listen, I love your daughter. She's that one for me. And he says, listen, son, you do know that you married my daughter. It's about you and my daughter, not your mama. Because let me find out. And we know Papa Scott will get over involved. We know he's done it before. He'll do it again. He gives his blessing. She's dancing with another man. I said, oh, is this going to be problematic? It was not. Dr. Kirkland was smiling because she was that beautiful, Anne. And the stops and pause in the dance while he's walking towards her. The cinematography and direction of this scene was chef's kiss, y'all. It was so romantic. It was so beautiful. It felt like a fairy tale. Every person deserves this moment in their life, I feel personally. And he gets down in front of everybody. And what a declaration, knowing that most of this room knows the past, knows that she is shamed by their standards, and still humbles himself to get down on his knee and propose. Now, the people are saying she didn't say yes. That heifer said yes. She didn't have to say it to say it. Peggy said yes to that man, and they will be happily ever after. Don't play with me, Julian Fellows, Sonia, Sally. Don't play with me. This is a non-negotiable. All right, non-negotiable. Everyone's heart is warm except for Mama Kirkland. It was a beautiful, 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 beautiful scene. Back over to the Whites ball. Bertha, George finally comes downstairs. You know, he's able to stand and interact because, again, we have to present a united front because more than anything, this is about reputation. This is about business. And so we're standing there and he's like, you know what? Everything that happened is really giving me clarity about how, you know, I need to move forward. And she's like, yeah. He's like, and I knew you needed me there, you know. And so she thinks in her mind we're reconciled, right? She thinks that in her mind the ball goes off. We wake up the next morning. He's packing his things. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go back into the city with Larry, got some things, and I'll be back, you know, at the club. She's like, what happened? I thought we were, he's like, you thought what? No, baby, that was business last night. I know you needed to make a safe face for Miss Astor because also she invited both Aurora and Charlotte Astor to the ball, which was unheard of because they're divorcees. And dare I say, it's because she will soon be a divorcee herself, and she still wants to be included in polite society. I mean, she just got there, right? Okay. And so he's like, yeah, that was it, sister. She's like, you're mad at me for arranging it with the Duke, but you walked her down the aisle. And he did, but he also got shot. So I feel like that kind of absolves him from that. Sister, you still got to pay. You're reaping and sowing, sister. Reaping and sowing. He said, yeah, I ain't got it to do with you. And I'll be there until I figure out what you want to do, what I want to do. She's like, what do we agree to? You like that I'm ruthless? He's like, yeah, I like that because I'm ruthless in business. I'm not ruthless with my family. I'm ruthless for my family. No, baby, you're ruthless for you. Let's call a thing a thing. I've never laughed at someone's pain so much as I did last night. The tears brought me literal joy. As he's going off to the city, Gladys comes in because she's arrived with the Duke, of course, for everything. And we find out that she's preggers and actually in her second trimester, I believe, because the doctor told her to wait 4 months. And so now she's pregnant. The Duke and her are happy, elated. And again, Bertha in this gilded cage that she's created for herself, all alone. All alone. Just desserts. You guys, this was a fantastic end to an incredible season. Loved it, top to bottom. Chef's kiss. Drop it in the comments. Was it as satisfying for you as it was for me? I would love to know. And be sure to stick around, y'all. The Gilded Age is not the only show we cover. Actually doing Outlander, Blood of My Blood, which is the prequel to Outlander, the OG series. We're doing that every Saturday. And we still have some fun stuff coming on the calendar. So please make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell. Hit a like and drop a comment, y'all. Let me know what you thought the best part of this season was. And I will see y'all Monday night for the finale, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have the most amazing rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video.